Well, obviously, the bigger the event, the higher the investment and operational costs. Take, for example, the Ultra Music Festival run by Russell Favish. Now, production costs might reach anywhere between $25 and $30 million this year. But when he started in 1999 at the age of 21, still attending Florida International University, he borrowed $10,000 from the bank and drew about 10,000 fans. In 2014, it is expected that he has attracted about 300,000 fans with more than 300 performers. Now, it might generate as much as $25 million a day, $75 million in economic activity for the city of Miami, including the rental of the Bayfront Bison Sunday Park and other city services. His event alone brought in about 12% of the total revenue for the park's operator, and about $500,000 on top of the previous $600,000 he had paid for almost 200 police officers to patrol the event. Rental for the park should last about 15 days from setup to breakdown and cost another $250,000 or $15,000 a day. According to an NHL report on the Mirror on arenas, on the cost of operating an arena ranges anywhere between $6 million a year for small arenas, $6,000 or less, to $16 million for 20,000, which is equal to the monthly cost of about $500,000 to $1.5 million. The figures below are per day based on the NBA report, which found operational costs of $700 to $800 per seat for much larger arenas, 20 to 40,000, and they range anywhere between $3 to $7 million per year for the bigger arenas with the online handled private. Now below are a few estimates based on the research and other public rental information. And of course, venues like Bicentennial Park, 45,000 capacity, Bayfront Park Trust, rental fees somewhere between $7,000 and $15,000. Bank Atlantic Center, $20,737 per hour at SSE and BBT, anywhere between $10,000 and $40,000. American Airlines Arena, $19,600. Basketball properties, $20,000 to $40,000. Broward Center Aero Renee, $2,100. Broward County, between 10,000 and 10% of tickets. 200. Palm Beach, between 7 and 15,000 plus, $1 to $3 per ticket fee. Fillmore, Live Nation, varies from season and style. Parker Playhouse, about 1,200, between 25 and 35% of tickets. 2,500 and 3.5% of tickets. Services included: single performance, 4 hours with box office services, house management, internal security, system, sound systems, lighting, charges, extra for front office security and cleaning, between 100 and 150 per hour. 4% of credit card processing, 10% of group sales, 25% of merchandising, 4% production fees, drapes, lights, sound, spots, mics, pianos, and the like. And of course, services not included would be, stage labor, extraordinary sound, lighting, equipment rental, props, credit card charges, insurance, sales tax, ticket surcharges, piano tuning, spotlights. And those range anywhere between $50 and $150 per. Now, bar and catering, can be hosted, bar beer or wine, $10 per hour per person. Top shelf, $20, kidding hors d'oeuvres, $30 to $50 per dozen, and 20% gratuity and sales tax exception. So these venues are really important, right? Because you need to be able to, A, as a promoter, understand what your costs are. B, as an artist, how much you have to pay to actually, have a fan base. And of course, you can then assume what kind of profit you can make. Now, which venues generate the most revenue? Now, until you get signed by a record label like Sony, RCA, Mercury, Nashville, MCA, Warner Brothers, Capitol, or Columbia, or you get publishing deals from the likes of Universal Music Publishing, Warner Chappell Music, and you get famous, you will not gain entry into the largest international or national stadiums and arenas hosting 10,000 seats or more. However, you or your manager can book shows during off nights at local regional festivals, bars, clubs, and smaller parks and recreation venues like amphitheaters until you have the capital to invest on these larger venues. Now, some of the top international venues are, of course, the O2 Arena in the UK, London, 20,000 capacity, known as AEG, Barclays Center in New York, Brooklyn, 17,732 capacity, FCRC and AEG are the co-owners. The Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, PA, 19,000 capacity, global spectrum. The Playhouse unleashed Sports de Paris, Bercy in France, anywhere between 17,000 capacity, owned by AEG. And the Staples Center in California, but 19,079 capacity, owned by AEG. Some of the top North American venues are, Barclays Center in New York, Brooklyn, 17,732. Again, FCRC, AEG. Staples Center, in California, 19,000 by AEG. The American Airlines Arena in Florida, 19,600 by the BB Properties, the basketball properties, and AEG. The Wells Fargo in Philadelphia, as I mentioned, 19,500 by Global Spectrum. Sprint Center in Missouri, Kansas City, 18,500. Kansas City, as well as folks local to